The importance of witness as opposed to simply saying good and holy and religious things, right? So different examples that we can kind of cite to further illustrate this particular point. But one thing that kind of come into mind as I was thinking about this weekend was the example of rage. Because a lot of times we have this tendency when it comes to like anger and rage to kind of rationalize our negative feelings, right? So we're going through life, something happens, we perceive it to be wrong, like I'm right, this person's wrong, or I'm right and the world's wrong. And so we tell ourselves, well, gosh, I have righteous anger. So therefore I give myself like full permission to just lash out in this irrational and aggressive sort of way, right? The thing I want to impress upon you, friends, is that that looks really, really bad if you're a Christian. And particularly, you got to appreciate it's really hard to articulate the reality and primacy of the one living and true God, who is also the embodiment of love and truth and mercy, if you're constantly flying off the handle, right? You got to constantly realize that, okay, the world is watching, right? And not just the world in a generic sense, but people in particular, people in your circle of influence. Like you think about your coworkers, your family, your friends, your children. And again, the primacy of integrity, the primacy of witness. People are looking at how you actually live your life. And if there's a gap, your words will ring hollow. And so given all that, the invitation in a certain sense is not so much to simply like suppress your anger, but to figure out, okay, why is it I'm giving into anger and rage all the time? And to cultivate the opposite virtue. Like to realize that, okay, God calls me to become a conduit of peace. So how do I figure out the secret of my anger, and how do I cultivate peace in my heart and become a conduit of God's peace? And the funny thing is, once you discover that, and God will help you in that regard, the words in a certain sense take care of themselves. You won't have to worry about that, right? Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.